Hi guys! Today we're going to be making some spring nails. And I'm going to be making these nails as press-ons, so I'll be painting them and decorating them on little stands and adding them onto my nails later. This is a great option for people who maybe can't wear nails to work, or for me in particular, I like to make press-ons because I love doing my nails all the time, and usually I'll have nails already on and I want to make more nails, but I don't want to take the ones I have off because I like them, so then I just make some press-ons to use later. But anyway, these aren't just going to be spring nails, they're going to be grunge emo spring nails. The way I see that is that typically I see spring nails as like really colorful with like pastel pinks and greens and purple and yellow and with like a lot of flowers and maybe bunnies. These ones are going to have flowers, but they're not going to be pastel and girly. They're going to be girly, but they're also going to be grungy and emo, so more red and black color palette. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it.
Start off with all the press-ons sized and then pressed onto these little plastic nail stands that I got from Amazon. And the first thing that I'm doing is just taking a file and buffing out the tops of all the nails to remove the shine, and then this will make the base coat and just the rest of the gel stick a lot better to the nail. I don't know, this might be really boring for you guys to watch, but I figured I'd include it, and then like if you don't like it, you can let me know in the comments, and then next time I just will totally skip the whole prepping process and go straight into where I actually paint and design the nails. Alrighty, so now all the nails are filed. So next step is just to take this little brush and brush away any extra dust that's on them. And for good measure, I'm also going to rub them down with some isopropyl alcohol. This is the one I use. It was really cheap from Walmart. It's 91% isopropyl alcohol. I think it was like $4, and it comes with a lot, and it will last a really long time. So now that they're all prepped and ready to go, I'm going to apply the base coat. And the base coat that I'm using is the Beetles base coat, and I bought it from Amazon. The only other base coat brand that I've tried so far is the gelish one, and that one is substantially more expensive. But in my experience, I really couldn't tell the difference. But being a beginner, I'm sure that there is a difference. I just can't tell what the difference is yet. So I would say that if you're also a beginner, you don't really have to go all out and buy like a really fancy base coat. The Beetles one works really well and is super affordable. All right, so now that that base coat is on and cured, I'm going to apply a thin layer of IBD hard gel. And this isn't something that is required, but these press-ons that I'm using, I found, are particularly flimsy, and so I just choose to add a thin layer of hard gel to add some extra support because I don't want them breaking. And I do this especially because I tend to be pretty rough with my hands. I'm always doing things with my hands, and I love to work out at the gym, lifting weights. So my nails are at jeopardy all the time. So if there's anything I can do to add extra support, I do it. And right here, I'm just flipping the press-on upside down so that the hard gel will level out by itself and kind of form a nice apex. Because something really nice about hard gel is it does that. It self-levels. Alright, so starting with the thumbnail, I'm going to do an ombre from this nice, pretty jelly red color, which I also got from Amazon. I think pretty much everything that I use in this video I got from Amazon. But yeah, I start with this red color and then I'm going to kind of blend it out into a black color. I know that there's actually a specific brush that you can buy for doing ombres and blending, but I don't have it, so I just used this other clean brush that I had and tried to kind of blend it out a little bit. And now I'm taking the black and I'm just going to start applying it from the bottom up. I tend to start with the lighter color whenever I do ombres because I don't want to get the black in the brush of the other color that I'm using. Another way that you can counter that is to just cure the first layer before you put on the second color, which I don't think I did for this first nail, but I do it for one of the other nails that I did an ombre on. I realize that that's probably the way to go later on. So I was having a really hard time blending the black smoothly into the red. So I decided to get some base coat and get it on my brush and try to use the base coat to help me blend it out more smoothly. And I don't really have a fancy palette right now, but that's okay. I just found this little piece of like trash that was sitting on the table and decided to use it for a palette. And it worked fine. So hey, goes to show you, you don't need fancy supplies to do great things. Although I don't know if I'd call this great. It's really not that great. And after curing those layers, I just went over the top with another layer of that jelly red color, just to kind of like pull everything together. And I honestly don't know what happened to the footage of me drawing those first two flower petals, but I am drawing flower petals, white flower petals with a dotting tool. That is what I am doing. And here you can see I messed up a little bit, but I didn't want to like erase the entire petal completely because I was pretty happy with it. And you know, those flower petals are actually a little bit harder to draw than it looks. I'm not gonna lie, I think I tried about 3 times before this flower and erased it a couple times with rubbing alcohol. But you know what, if you make a little mistake like that, it's fine. Just get a little brush with some rubbing alcohol and wipe it off, and it's like an eraser. It's fine. No worries. Not everything goes perfect the first time. Usually never happens like that. But it's fine. You'll get there. We'll get there together. So when I was finally happy with how the flower looked, which let me tell you, it took a while. It took a while. I'm not gonna lie, I did cut out some of the footage of me just like doing little details. But I cured it, and then I decided I wanted to use those rhinestones to make the middle, like little flower part. So I don't really have rhinestone gel, like specifically for rhinestones, but I just use this hard gel and honestly works fine for me. I haven't had problems with it, but I know that investing in some rhinestone gel would probably be a good idea. But for now, the hard gel is doing great. So that's why I just put a little bit of hard gel in the middle of the flower with the dotting tool and then used my, actually no, I didn't use a wax pen on this one because they were stickers. I just took it off and then placed it with my hand in the middle of the flower as best I could and then popped that into the lamp for a full minute. So once that is all cured, it is time to apply a top coat, and I went for a glossy top coat. I actually don't know if I've even ever done nails that are matte top coated. I just love the way the glossy looks. Like, I love how they shine and they're just so glossy. I love it so much. But anyway, I just applied the top coat, being careful not to get it on the gem, which I honestly don't even know what happens to the gem if I were to top coat it. All I know is that every other like nail influencer that I've watched doesn't top coat their rhinestones or gems. So I didn't do it. And here's how the first one turned out. I'm actually so happy with it. I think it's so cute. But anyway, on to the second one. So for the second one, I really wanted to use Holo powder because I tried Holo powder a couple days before this for the first time, and then I was just absolutely obsessed with it. I like really like the rainbow shimmer. It's just so pretty. So the base coat for the nail, I used the red jelly color, just like the first nail, because I wanted to try to keep it cohesive. So I figured having it be tinted a little red would kind of make them, you know, a cohesive set. So I think I did 2 layers of the red. I'm actually not completely sure. It might have just been one, but nevertheless, I cured the red and then put a glossy top coat on top of that. And I'm telling you this now, before you put any Holo powder or any powder, even if your top coat is a no wipe top coat, wipe it with rubbing alcohol. I didn't realize this until halfway through this nail, but I was struggling so bad trying to get the Holo powder to stick to every part of the nail, and it just was not working. But as it so happens, my original intention was to actually have this be an ombre from Holo to red. So the Holo was just supposed to be on the tip. So I ended up taking some rubbing alcohol and trying to like remove the Holo powder that was on the parts of the nail I didn't want it to be on, which wasn't really working. But then I went back and tried adding more Holo powder, and I realized it was going on so much smoother. It was so much easier. So then I just like went and wiped the entire nail. This is where I made the glorious revelation. I mean, look at that. It was going on like so much more opaque and just smooth. It was so satisfying. I can't even tell you how satisfying it was to apply the Holo powder after the rubbing alcohol. So after applying another top coat on top of the holo powder, I am going to stick with the flower theme for spring, and I'm going to create some black flowers on top of the holo powder. And I decided to use these rhinestones that are so pretty, they're like iridescent and colored, that I found on Shein actually, to do the middle of the flowers on this nail. I was kind of disappointed that so few came in the box, but I was like, you know what, it was like $2. What did I expect, really? So I'm just doing the same thing as before and using the hard gel to attach the rhinestones, and this time I do use a wax pencil that I got from Amazon, because it makes it so much easier to pick up the rhinestones and put them on the nail. I think it would be impossible for me to do with my fingers, and probably a little bit easier but still hard to do with tweezers. But the wax pencil is just makes your life so much easier. Yay! So after I applied and cured the top coat, the second nail is done, and these are the two nails that we have so far, and I think they're looking super cute, and I was really happy with them. So for the third nail, I decided to do another ombre to match the thumbnail, but instead of going from like red to black, I decided to go from black to red. So basically just the same ombre but flipped. And on this ombre, I actually, instead of using the other clean brush and base coat to blend out the colors, I found out that it was so much easier to just try to wipe off as much of the product from the brush of the color that I was currently using, and then using the same brush from the gel bottle to kind of drag the color down. Once I was happy with the ombre, I cured it, and then I decided to use these heart gemstones that I got from Michael's, and I just used one of them. I put it in the center, and then I did like the little heart lines, like the repeating heart lines going around to cover the whole nail, which kind of took a long time. It was a little bit tedious, but I think it was totally worth it in the end because I really love how it turns out. Before drawing the hearts, I actually applied a matte top coat because this is a technique I learned from Emily Susanna, who is absolutely amazing, and it works really well. It makes my life so much easier. So here I am just drawing the repeating hearts. The liner brush that I'm using is also Beetles, and it came in a pack for I think like $6. It came with like 6 brushes, and they work really well. So after I cured all the hearts, I went ahead and top coated it, and I don't think I actually included the footage of me top coating it, but I top coated it with glossy top coat so that it was glossy once more, and then it was all finished. So there's the 3 nails we have so far, and on to the next one. For this 4th nail, I'm doing a design very similar to the 2nd nail, where I am doing a colored base coat, so this time it's black, and then I'm going to go over with the holo powder, and then I'm going to create some little flowers with white this time, I believe, and then put rhinestones in the center. My laptop is so angry at me right now. I'm editing this video while charging it, and my laptop does not like when I do anything while it is charging. The fan on this thing is so loud, and I'm like trying to cover the fan with like a stuffed animal so that you guys can't hear it, but if you can hear it, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that the holo powder that I'm using in this video is from AliExpress. It's actually the only one that I've tried. Um, and I don't have a problem with it I actually think that it's very beautiful, as you have heard me say before. So, yeah. But if you guys have any other holo powder suggestions, let me know. If there's a difference between like AliExpress ones and more expensive ones, I'd love to know. Right here, I was trying to decide which color rhinestone I want to put in the center. Originally, I was thinking black, and then I kind of didn't like it, so then I chose red. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I'm completely happy with that change in color, but let me know. Do you think it would have been better with black, or do you like it with the red? Looking at it now, I actually think that it would have been prettier with the black, but you know what? That's okay. It looks fine with the red too. And that's how the fourth nail turned out. It's looking great. Some mistakes were made, but that's okay. For the pinky, I wanted something to kind of tie the whole thing together. So, like, I wanted it to not be the same as the thumbnail, but pretty similar. So, what I decided to do was again an ombre with the red and the black, and then another flower in the center with a little rhinestone. But then I did something a little different to this one just to make it stand out from the rest, which is put a little white outline around the edges. I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to do holo powder around the edges instead of the white, and honestly, I think that could have been really cool and probably looked better. But my skill set at the moment, I didn't believe in myself that I could do it, which, you know what, I should have, because always believe in yourself. It's better to try and fail than to not try at all. But I didn't do that. I just went with the white. But that's okay. It ended up looking cute anyway. think by this point I had definitely gotten the hang of making the flowers because this flower was a lot easier to make than the rest of them. So with the last nail top coated, that is all of the nails done. I really hope that you guys like this design. I think I really like how it turned out. If you guys like it, I hope that you try it out on your own nails. And here they are in the sun after I've glued them on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope that you'll come back next time so I can see you again. Okay,